Dayton. Commander Dayton. Good
Commander
evening,
Whalls, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Fantastic. I'm really excited to know that an African American is buying Twitter. It's
What?
fantastic.
Is that
An
breaking
African
news?
American buying Twitter. Yeah,
Is
dude.
that more? That's disinformation. Is that misinformation? Is that
No,
real?
no,
That's real?
no. Elon Musk is a South African,
Uh,
born and raised. An African American is buying Twitter.
yes, straight up.
Dude,
What,
it's crazy
40
because
something billion, huh?
yeah, the reason I say it is because people like Sean King, who we don't even know if he's actually black. He claims to be, based on what his mother said his dad was, that he's never met. Even though his dad on his birth certificate is a white guy. Figure that out. But anywho, a guy like Sean King, an alleged black man, is upset that another African American is buying Twitter. So he deactivated his Twitter account and then brought it back up after Musk said he was buying Twitter. But he said it wasn't because he was white. You know, it just happened to coincide that he deactivated a Twitter account, which, people do freely, right? They always deactivate their Twitter account for no reason.
Right. I mean, the only thing I'm going to say about it is like Elon Musk paid 43 billion, right? Is that what the number was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Something like that.
44 point something billion dollars. It's insane.
All I'm saying is I downloaded it for free. I didn't have to pay that much money. So, like I don't know what he's doing, but this dad got it for free.
This dad. The ultimate dad hack of 2022.
Right there. There's the dad joke. So what do you think?
It really does. Like,
I'm just, is who's coming back to Twitter now? Who's I know what's interesting is we have our Twitter handles at the beginning of the show, and I admittedly am not a big Twitter activist or user, but I have been on more in the last couple days, just kind of enjoying the circus, if you will.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have to
What you
agree.
think? Who's coming back? They gonna
Donald
let Trump back in?
Trump will be back. I promise
Tucker
you.
Carlson,
Was Tucker Carlson banned
Mark
off Twitter?
Levin.
Was Carlson banned off Twitter?
Tucker Carlson.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
keep
did.
track of who got banned off Twitter, except for I know Trump got banned, but that was it.
Well, I don't know that Tucker Carlson and Mark Levin were banned, but they stopped using Twitter because of the bans, and at one point were banned from Twitter.
No kidding.
Yeah, their account got
Back
flagged
now.
for supporting misinformation or
Oh, got it.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny because I've seen so many people that have been talking about, I'm leaving Twitter, I'm deactivating my Twitter account, and I'm not going to share where this was posted, but I have multiple Twitter accounts, but I posted it on here, and I'm like, I'm going to be blunt. Who cares what billionaire owns Twitter? I am way too busy in my life to care that much that I'm going to leave a platform because of who owns it. I don't care. What does it matter? It doesn't affect my life.
Right.
So some billionaire
Right.
buys it. It's either one billionaire who has it private, or it's a bunch of billionaires who own all of the shares, combined on the board. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to live my life.
And the crazy part about it is people are now going to leave Twitter because all Elon Musk said was he's going to allow free speech. They're upset by that. You shouldn't be friends with those people because they have drastically different values in life. Drastically. That means if you say something that they don't agree with, they think you should just shut your mouth.
That's because we're all children. We're all children.
Right?
And they're the parents. They know best.
Dude. I mean, people are leaving Twitter who claim to have African heritage, but Elon Musk is more African than the majority of people who are claiming this.
Right.
He has 100% African heritage.
Right. It's crazy.
So
crazy.
He's an African American too. And Chris, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were born in America, why does it matter if you were an African American, a Jamaican American, an Italian American, a German American, a Lithuanian American. Aren't you just an American?
That's what I would assume. I don't understand why they ever put the adjective in front of it. Like, what's the point or what's the purpose? You know, are you less of an American than just a straight American? And that's why we have to like label you, and Asian American or whatever. Is that what the goal is? Because that doesn't make much sense. We're all Americans. What the hell is wrong with people? Like, why can't we just you're born here. You're an American.
Right. Why can't we all just get along? Stop labeling
For real.
everything and everybody.
I know. I get it, man.
But
you
we're
came
gonna
out
get
of the
on to
gate
some better
swinging.
news.
You came out of the gate
I
swinging on
know.
this episode, man. You're traveling. You're all across the country. You got a lot of moving parts, and you just decide that's it. This Tuesday, I'm coming at you live, hard. I like it. Let's do this.
Dude, I like coming hard.
I bet you do, pal.
But
I bet your wife
jeez.
does more.
Good.
Yeesh.
And bromances.
Oh yeah.
Bromance.
What I find funny is the tweet that I
There's
just showed on
nothing better to
here.
a bromance. There's nothing better to a bromance than coming in hard.
Dude, so
how
I
you
know
build
this
a
is not
bromance.
in our show notes, and I'm going to totally segue you were getting ready to
That's
take
okay.
this to another thing, but so I've been working out, for the last couple of weeks and, get back into the gym, being very consistent. And I bought a bag, I got all my gear, I go to the gym, I go change in the locker room, right? And I do not understand that throughout my entire life, anytime I've ever been part of a gym or a Lifetime or, in this case, I am at the Livonia Rec Center. Why is it that the old dudes have to walk around naked? One dude was shaving and basically had his junk on the countertop. I'm like, my man, really? Is this just free flow society
That's
today?
great.
I don't get it. And it's not like, dude, I get it. We're all guys, males, whatever. But for real, nobody wants to see your saggy old crotch. Like, come on, man. Put a towel on it. Let's go. Get dressed. Pick up the pace a little bit. You don't have to stand there, towel over your shoulder, ready to like, what's up, people? How you doing? There's nobody in here you're going to impress. Hopefully.
It's like Sid from Big Daddy, right? You're with him. There's wrinkly balls.
His goal's not to die. His 5-year plan is don't die.
Yeah. He has a 5-year plan. What? Don't die?
Yeah, right. That's one of the great lines. Oh, look at that. So good. Don't die.
Oh, man.
Actually, you know what? When I had my beard, I didn't look too much different than that.
Sid. Good old Sid. But dude, let's talk about some excellent things. Let's talk about no more masks when you're flying through the air.
Yeah, right. We don't need a mask hole.
Yeah. So what gets me about this is it was declared unlawful, right? Yet at Chicago O'Hare, and I'm sure at other airports, it's still required to wear a mask. So what's crazy, right?
Who's going to enforce
Mayor of
it?
Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, right? Well, here's my thing. In times of crisis, who was everyone asking for? Federal government to step in and help. But now that by the federal government, it's been deemed unlawful by the same people that you sought after before, that you wanted money from. You wanted them to come in and help before. But now that they disagree with your beliefs, you feel you can just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Like that's not how our country was made. That's not how a republic runs. And I'm like you. Who the hell is going to follow it?
Who's going to enforce it? If I'm not wearing a mask, if they tell me to put a mask on and I just ignore them, are they going to tackle me? Am I getting arrested right there in O'Hare? Like, for what?
Dude,
insane.
I haven't worn a mask walking through an airport in like 3 months. No one's ever said anything to me. The only time I was asked to wear a mask is when I would show my ID to get through into the terminal through TSA. They would always give me a mask. And then as soon as I'd do my stuff, walk on through, I'd take it off. No one ever said anything. Well, until boarding the flight, of course. But I'd wear my airport all throughout.
Sir, could you put your mask on? We expect
I was just waiting for that.
Dude, there's like people, and they're like freaking out now. Like I saw a video the other day of like somebody like totally wigging out on somebody who was an employee because that employee didn't have to wear a mask anymore. They was in a retail place, and this guy's wearing a mask, and he's like threatening to mace that employee. He's like holding out mace and like, I'm gonna get you.
What?
And it's like, dude, what are you doing? And then he flipped out so much that he basically assaulted that guy, the employee, and then booked it out of the store. It's like, you know what? That's the stuff that just has got to stop. When are we going to get to the point where people just grow the hell up? Yep, we got a pandemic. You know what the problem is? They don't talk about this crap anymore. They're not talking about, oh, are you dying? No, you don't have to die. You go get a vaccine. You're worried about, go get a vaccine. Go get a booster. Go do whatever you do. It's available to you. Go do it. You're still going to get COVID. You're going to get sick. Just like you got sick every year or every other year up until this point. Like that's not going to stop. Human sickness is not stopping because you wear a mask and you're going to demand everybody be a mask or, wear a mask. I'm like, well, what the hell's happening, dude? Who's the dude that's on the germaphobe dude that's on America's Got Talent?
Howie Mandel. Dude, I know this man. Howie Mandel.
We've got a whole generation of people who are now like Howie Mandels. You know what? Love you. You're very talented. Shut the hell up. Let us do what we're going to do. You don't like germs? Don't like germs. Fine.
You don't like germs? Don't like germs.
I know, right? Just saying, dude.
I love how you're bringing it in like that. Then it's, you don't like germs? You don't like germs. But it's like you hear stuff like this, and it just, dude, people freak out over the smallest things now. And that's the reason they do that is because it's like they want to program us to control us. Just like there's this ESPN story that there was a pregame demonstration around the Washington National Park. And because of the pregame stuff at the National Stadium, people saw these parachutists coming into the stadium. So they evacuated the U.S. Capitol, thinking that there was a terror attack going on. So
at a Nationals game?
What you're telling me,
a Nationals game?
Right. What you're telling me is you work in the capital of the United States of America, the strongest military power in the world, and they didn't know that these people were not invading our country?
Oh, dude, that's a great point.
How?
How do you not know?
You don't think the U.S. government didn't know that? They listen to your phone calls.
That's what they say.
Like, come on. Why are we evacuating? You live in the goddamn capital of the country.
Right.
It's lunacy.
Wow. But I agree, dude.
Man.
I think this is fun. Like, how disturbing is it that you are the capital of the largest or the allegedly the most powerful, sophisticated, country on the planet. But oh no, we got some parachutes coming in. Didn't know that was planned. It's the Russians.
Right.
They're coming to get us. Unbelievable. Come on, man. So crazy. I don't know, dude.
So it's so funny too that it's stuff. It's it's like you can always follow the money with some things like this, which is it's funny that we had this in the notes beforehand about Twitter, potentially being bought out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about the antics of the deal, let me know your thoughts on this. But I was looking at it, I'm like, of course Twitter was going to go with a buyout because they knew that Elon Musk is offering a deal that's like over $10 a share more than what the stock price is at. And that if they don't take this deal, he's going to find another way to buy out the company. And they're probably going to lose out on 20%. So they might as well just go ahead and take it.
Right.
Like how obvious is it with some of the stuff that it's all about the money? All about the money.
The older I get, the more I realize it's all about the money. You can follow almost any major issue, and if you follow the money, you get the truth. If you follow the distraction, you get entertained. This is all about the money.
Because I'm sure there was something that was, they were afraid that if they didn't take this deal, that the stock price was probably going to tank.
Probably was, and it still might. I did not see what it did today. It was hovering around 50 or so. And I think, the share price that he bought it out at was like 54. So you would assume that it would go up a little bit. But, it depends on what he's planning on doing with this and how he's going to keep it, and operate the whole company and things like that. It's going to make a big difference on their valuation and how they're going to do money. It just, when you break it down, dude, it's so amazing that people get so worked up over these. Like, what are you really mad about? You're mad that there's going to be, some free speech, some speech you don't like. Well, you don't like, I mean, is it like traumatizing you from like your days on the school playground when Billy told you that he was going to take your girlfriend and then he did and he went and pressed her and she wanted to sit next to him at lunch instead of you little piece of crap, instead of ending up, you're like, no, it is not fair. Jenny's supposed to sit next to me. I'm never going to win. Now you're just mad because Elon came in and said, yeah, I'm going to take your girl.
Dude, you're about to trigger so many people if this goes viral.
I can't help it.
This goes viral. People are going to get triggered, man.
I was in 4th grade. Okay. And, I had just moved here from Oklahoma to Michigan, and I had a little accent. I was 10 years old, and I got picked on every day in elementary school. So I had a little trauma on the playground. They'd say Michigan. I go, Michigan, I'm here in Michigan. I was 10. I had an accent, whatever. And they would trip me and knock me over. You know what? I didn't go, I'm going to ban you from the playground. You're not allowed to be here anymore. You get big. And then I beat the crap out of every last one of them.
Right.
That's what happened.
That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it.
We shifted right in. Do you got your drink? Do you have a drink? Are you sponsoring a drink here?
Aquafina.
My man. Look at you, all healthy and
keeping it kosher.
Bring us in there, TA. Tell us about the rant. There it is. Boom.
For clarification purposes, this week, crypto mining racks, $9.99. That's all there is to it. Start mining easy. Begin your mining journey today. It's not a monthly charge. It's a one-time charge to get started. Crypto mining racks. Dude, that's awesome. That's so cool. Fired up about that. For more information, go to cryptominingracks.com. Start your mining journey today. We know the world. It's going to Bitcoin. Cashless society, right? Might as well get out in front of it. Get the getting while the getting's good. Anywho, I get so annoyed, and I try not to. But when I see things like this guy, Joe Madison, apparently he's on Sirius XM, tweets just stupidest things ever. So he says, in his tweet, agree or disagree, NFL owners are deliberately keeping Colin Kaepernick unemployed for political and cultural reasons. Like, one, he's trying to make it a race thing without using the word race. Two, yes, that is exactly why. If you lead an organization, if you lead a team, you don't want to hire that person. You don't want to bring that person in around a good working organization if they're going to cause potential turmoil, if they're going to bring unwanted press, unwanted attention for any reason that gets you away from what your primary goal is, especially when it's someone who wasn't a good quarterback in the first place. He was on a team. He took a team to the Super Bowl who was already a great football team. There's plenty of average quarterbacks that have gone and won a Super Bowl. Plenty of average quarterbacks. So it cracks me up when people talk about that he's better than some quarterbacks out there. He might be, but they're not Super Bowl contenders. Why would you want to bring a guy in that if he doesn't make the cut, so there's already all this racism talk. If he doesn't make the team because he's not good enough after you bring him onto the squad, right, and you get to your 53-man roster, what happens when you cut him? You already know what's going to happen. So if you don't think that he's a long-term play for your organization, why hire him? It makes zero sense. If you don't think that he's going to help make your team, X amount more dollars by getting into the NFL, why play him? Why even bring him around? Because then what happens next? What if you don't pay him as much as Tom Brady? Why? Because he's black? No, because Tom Brady's won 7 Super Bowls. What happens when you don't pay him as much as Matthew Stafford? Why? Because he's black? No, because Matthew Stafford has numbers to buy. The numbers is like a top 10 quarterback ever and just won a Super Bowl. So why bring a potential disaster on your team when the disaster can be bigger than what the gain will be? It makes zero sense. And it's crazy that people are still trying to push the narrative. It wouldn't be about race if they didn't make it about race. There's plenty of black NFL players out there. If it was about race, why are any of them playing? Why did they get hired? Why did they get signed to massive contracts? Because if it's about race in one case and that's your basis for the argument, then by proving out logic, that needs to be your basis for every argument. So if that's the case, that they won't sign one guy because he's black, why do they sign anyone because he's black? Because it's a bullshit argument. With that said, do you think he'll get signed, Dayton?
No, I do not. He had the opportunity a couple years ago, and that whole debacle with, I don't trust the NFL. I'm going to do my own workout. I'm going to, have all this stuff. Why don't you just delete my stuff?
Dude, don't worry.
I'm like, I just wrote all that. Turn your Rant.
We're canceling you, Chris. We're canceling your content.
I got canceled. You're canceled just like that. Like Colin Kaepernick. I just got canceled.
Yep, you're done. Bye.
But I do think, I don't think he's going to get, because right. At the end of the day, dude, he really messed up the last time. They were willing to work with him, and he tried to change the venue.
Right.
And it was like, dude, I don't think you're understanding this. you're the employee, not the employer. You do what the employer, the person whose name is on the front of the checks, you do what they want you to do. That's how that works. And if you don't want to,
Right.
it's okay. You don't have to be here. You can go start your own NFL league. Oh, they did that. Go play in the USFL. You're so great. Go be great at the USFL. And then bring other great players who want to play with you. But that's not going to happen.
That's a fair point. Right. Why doesn't he go play for the USFL for $244,000 or whatever the salary is?
Oh, because it's all about the money. Like, I feel like a Jerry Maguire moment coming on. Show me the money.
Show me the. So, dude, you just wrote this. I mean, this is all you, man. NFL draft. Who's going number one?
Well, dude, I mean, when this airs, so we publish on Friday. So anybody who's listening to us now is going to be in on the conversation. But this gets published on Friday. So Friday morning, when it's aired, we'll know how we did here. And I was just curious, dude. We love having, talks about the NFL. We love our football. The draft, the 2022 draft is live from Las Vegas on Thursday night. Men's lives are going to be changed forever, right? That's the one. You get the phone call from the GM. And the thing is, dude, who's going number one? What is Jacksonville doing? Usually by now, they kind of like it's kind of out. Like, all right, they know there's a clear consensus.
Yeah, Trayvon Walker.
That's what I'm not 100%. That they didn't say that as 100%. And you really think Trayvon Walker?
That's what they're saying.
If you're Jacksonville, I would be pissed. I would be absolutely pissed if they take Trayvon Walker.
Why? He's black.
Dude. Wow. Come on, man. No, because he's not a left tackle. That's why. Because he can't save your other huge investment of the sunshine Trevor Lawrence at your quarterback position, right? You drafted Trevor Lawrence for a reason. You're getting, NTN back as your running back, who was out all last year. You want him to get hurt again, or no? You want a flashy, maybe a flashy defensive player. I'm not saying that Trayvon Walker is not going to be awesome. I'm really not. I think he might be, but I think
the Jags should pull a move like the Browns and take like Jameson Williams first.
The wideout, he's the wideout, right, from Alabama.
Yeah. Right, but like when they took Baker first instead of Saquon, and then they lost Saquon, but could have still had Baker at 4.
Yeah, right. That's what they're doing with Trayvon Walker. Like,
no wonder your coach and GM isn't still there.
Okay, so let's say so the next in line is Aiden Hutchinson, who's the kid from Michigan, who absolutely just wrecked everybody in his path. Maybe he won't be a great pro. What's your take? You think he's a good pro?
Usually guys like him who have the work ethic and the motor that they appear to have in college, which they say Trayvon Walker is like that too, right? They might not end up being great, but they're good enough. But here's the thing, they might be great too. They're going to be good enough, but they might be great.
So have you seen the Pro Football Talk, the PFF fantasy, the mock simulator?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's pretty good. It's fun. I had one earlier here. I just did the Lions draft pick here, and they have Aiden Hutchinson going number 1 to the Jags.
Oh,
and who did I pick? And who did I pick at number 2? Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker. That's the funniest thing ever.
That's great. Where did Kayvon Thibodeau go?
Let's see here. So in the mock draft here, they had Sauce Gardner going number 3. Whew, that's crazy.
That guy's good. That guy's
Kayvon
good.
Thibodeau went number 7 to the Giants.
Aren't they like questioning his passion for the game? They said like he takes a lot of plays off and
Dude, I just don't think that yeah, maybe. I mean, there's so much that goes into being an NFL player. You have to have that passion. It's a painful sport. You're literally the modern day gladiator, essentially, right?
dude, you're a 22-year-old kid, right? That gets paid millions of dollars to play a sport.
Yeah. And that
It's crazy.
sport is very punishing and very demanding. So let's go through this. Let's do our top 5. Who are you taking if you're Jacksonville? And if you need to pull up the cheat sheet, like some of the players, you should.
Yeah, I don't even know. Top.
So if I'm Jacksonville, I know they're too stupid, but here's what they should do. They should take the tackle from Alabama, Evan Neal. That's what they should do. And then the Lions then would have, pretty good shot. Do you take Thibodeau or do you take Hutchinson?
Right. Or do you take Trayvon Walker?
And there's a lot of people who are big on Kyle Hamilton too.
See, I think Kyle Hamilton is a guy that I would probably take because he's a playmaker. You need guys like him who are bigger than average, but they have good speed. They have good like on the field. They have good football knowledge, and they can help swing games. Because you can find a decent defensive end is a lot easier to find than a standout defensive back, I think.
What if the Lions take Hutchinson and see how the draft starts to fall? Because really, like here they got Kyle Hamilton going number 6. They got Hamilton at 6 to Carolina Panthers, which I don't see. I don't think that's going to happen.
All right, so who is your top 5? Just fire it off.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Neal, and then at Detroit, they're going to take Hutchinson. I think Houston is actually going to take Jameson Williams, the wide receiver from Alabama.
Really?
And then I've got the Jets going to take goodness gracious. I think the Jets will probably take Kayvon Thibodeau because they're just going to do that. And then the Giants are going to be left. And then I think the Giants will probably they should take the tackle, Charles Cross from Mississippi State, but they're not going to. Yeah. They're going to end up taking Kyle Hamilton. That's my top 5.
I think it's going to go Neal, Hamilton, Hutchinson, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams.
So you think all the talk about Trayvon is still a smokescreen in Jacksonville, that they're going to take the tackle?
They might take him, but like you said, and I agree 100%, you need an offensive lineman. That's all there is to it.
They need it.
It's your biggest need, and you got the best guy in the draft at your fingertips.
You get that pick. You got to protect that investment. So that's what I think, man. We'll see how we did, and circle back next week. We'll have a breakdown of our draft analysis.
Right, and for our wholesome story for the week, the good news is we don't have to worry about CNN Plus anymore. What a great story.
Dude.
What a great story. Real feel-good story.
Do you know the over-under number of subscribers they had? Do you know how many they got?
100.
It was 10,000.
Wow.
10,000. How ridiculous is that?
That's what happens when your network's full of shit.
Dude, this is like pretentiousness on display at the highest level. Nobody watches your crap now when it's free, and then you're going to come out with a service and start trying to charge people? Come on, man. You clearly do not understand capitalism. CNN Plus is stupid. Everybody involved with that is stupid. And they should be immediately put back into the 10th grade and have to redo school. And then I'm going to take their girlfriend.
Can I point out something really funny about this whole CNN Plus thing too? So Charles Gasparino tweeted out, breaking at CNN Plus, employees are bracing for layoffs, possibly as soon as May, amid projections of lackluster sales of new streaming channel CNN. CNN employees say the new streaming channel should be merged into the larger Discovery Plus as early as May, unless subscriptions pick up. Okay, so Matt Dornick, who is the he's the head of strategic communications at CNN, right? And get this, he replies to this guy's tweet. For the record, we are very happy with the launch of CNN Plus and are only bracing for a long run of success. Dude, read the freaking room, dude. You did not... you failed miserably. Look, you launched a streaming service thinking that people were going to pay, what, $5 a month? Is that what it cost for CNN Plus? Was it $5 a month? I think it was $5 a month.
I don't know. It was either 5 or 10.
And you launched to, what, 13,000, 10,000 people? So $50,000 in your first month. And do you know how much they spent? I read somewhere in an article, they spent millions building CNN Plus out. It is an absolute failure. Absolute failure. And it's like, well, you ask, why is it a failure? Because no one trusts CNN. Why do you think that NBC can have their own streaming service? Why do you think that ABC can have their own streaming service and have it be successful to the point, like, for example, you got NBC has Peacock, still going strong, very successful. Why? Because people actually care about what is on NBC.
What about Fox and Fox Nation? Like, how many people are subscribed to Fox Nation?
Let me look and see.
It's a direct competitor. But dude, Dayton, you said it best. People don't want to watch your shit for free. Then you're going to charge them to watch?
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Hey, I'll sell your house for free. Yeah, we're not using you.
Fox Nation has...
now I'm going to need to charge you.
Fox Nation has never announced subscription numbers. However, I'm looking... that when they released it in 2021 at the end of the year, they estimated 200 to 300,000 subscribers. That was their estimate from Fox News themselves. So that's not even I'm sorry, that's not a lot of viewers. Considering you're talking about a national broadcast, that's horrible in my opinion. I think that's terrible. For subscribers, 200,000.
I would take 200,000 subscribers of the Building Walls podcast, which you can do right now by subscribing and liking our page.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
Subscribe, share the video.
Nobody listens to our shit for free. Maybe we should charge $2.99.
Let's get memberships going.
Worst case scenario, we'll make $10 a month.
Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah.
We reduce our audience size, but we only yeah, there you go. There you go.
But then we're making money.
Yeah.
Dude, CNN.
Dude.
What a clown show.
All right. Yeah. Dude. That was so perfect what you said. That's great. All right. So I'm excited now. Let's get into Chris's corner here. Let's get this show on the road. I like where we're at. I feel like you're feisty again this evening. All I got to do is,
line me up.
Poke the bear. Yeah.
Let's do
poke
it.
the bear.
All right.
So, Verizon Wireless. Pretty soon, they're going to automatically raise existing employees currently making less than $20 an hour up to $20 an hour. Is this good or bad?
So, hold on. So, anybody who's not making $20 an hour, so if you're making $14 an hour, you're going to get an automatic raise to their new floor, which is going to be $20 an hour.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Well, good on them.
Introducing
You know? If it's in their model that they can do that and maintain competitiveness, because it's always a function of that. What you pay your employees, an employee has to have an ROI. They have to be able to produce and continue to, be productive for the company. And if they're not, that's why you're fired or you're let go. And if somebody does mismanagement, like the aforementioned CNN Plus, where you rolled out a lot of high-end costs and you didn't get what you wanted, or you didn't bring in the right talent, or nobody's attracted to that, well, then that model is broken and they can't pay their people. Like, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Chris Wallace at CNN, but they can't pay. They can't pay him. What are they going to pay him with? There's no money. So, that's the same thing on a different scale. If people, decide that Verizon costs too much or the service isn't good enough, and people leave and go to AT&T, well, then so be it. But you know what? As a company, if they decide to do that, one of the interesting things is if the other companies don't do that, like AT&T or T-Mobile decide not to do this move where they're paying people or is publicized that they pay people better, well, then Verizon should actually get better employees and therefore have better service and better all-around experience, right? So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it looks like they're also going to give assistant managers who work on holidays, Sundays, or people who are bilingual will also be eligible for premium pay differentials. And they said that their COO said the reason is from employee feedback to help them remain attractive employer in this competitive environment.
Well, there you go. I mean, because that really comes down to, you're going to have to hire somebody. It's kind of like, I'm not sure if I've ranted about this or not, but, I went to the local Kroger here and there was nobody working. There's nobody doing the checkouts. And it was a mess. And I'm like, where's the management? Why aren't people being hired? If you don't have enough workers to check people out so that you can continue to make money, how are you going to continue to do this? And, I may or may not have a trade embargo against Kroger right now. I don't know. Until they resolve their issues, why would I go there? I'll just go to Bush's, where I can get all the same food and I can go check out. So it is about who.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I think honestly, I think it's good on them. I mean, I'll admit I'm not with any of the big carriers. Like I have for over a year now. Actually, been with an MVNO, I believe is what it is. But no, good on them paying their employees
Beyond Wireless.
No, I'm with Mint Mobile actually.
Oh, dude, that's Ryan Reynolds' company.
Yes, sir. That's one of the reasons.
Dude, how great would it be if we could get Ryan Reynolds to do a promo on our show?
I would die if we could, dude. I admire Ryan Reynolds as a whole. He's a fantastic actor. I think he's an intelligent businessman, and
we're the same age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm the same age as him and Tom Brady. But that's
very cool. Hey, you know what? It's still cool. It's cool facts.
I think there's a bromance about to start over there.
I would seriously have a hardcore bromance right there.
See, I've heard this comment, and it says it's Ryan Reynolds can turn a straight man gay.
Whoa!
The room went very silent.
Yeah. This is breaking news.
I mean,
we have a breaking news alert. TA has,
I never said I was
himself.
gay. I just said, look, I have a closet. I've been out of it I've not gone into that closet for a minute. So, you take what you will from that.
But if Ryan Reynolds was in there.
Oh.
You just said you were out of the closet.
I might go back in the closet. We'll see. Might have gotten me.
Side note, real quick, before we continue Chris's Corner. Favorite Ryan Reynolds movie? Go.
Deadpool.
TA, what's up?
Deadpool. Absolutely. Okay. Both of them are fantastic movies. Man.
Just Friends.
Just Friends. That's mine. Yeah! Just Friends. I love it.
It's a great movie.
So great. Class of 95. Man,
that's funny. Yeah, right.
That's my class. Class of 95. Austin Sheep said
that's
with
funny.
Green Lantern, he hates you for that. He would actually.
Yeah, he would. Did you? If you watch the end of Deadpool, he straight up shoots himself, like finishing the script for Green Lantern. If you watch the end of Deadpool, awesome. It's great. I love it. he goes up with a pistol, shoots him, and he's like, and then you see him. He's like, just cleaning up the timelines.
That's good. Marvel Universe. All right. Next question.
Question two. So Tennessee is about to pass a bill for drunk drivers who kill parents. They now have to pay child support. Do you think that's a good move?
Well, I mean, this is a conversation I feel like I am continually having with my daughter, and just teaching consequences for different things, and some things she gets and some things she doesn't. Like one of the things is like, I don't want her eating or drinking food upstairs. Why? Because we just got brand new carpet and I just don't want food up there. Accidents happen, things like that. We have a table, we have a kitchen. Like, keep the food downstairs. I've told her repeatedly, you can't do that. So it finally gets to the point where, I'm tired of hearing, oh, I'm sorry. And she just does whatever she wants. So now I literally have, account set up, and I go, you do that again, I'm fining you $25, because that's just enough. That's enough money to make her go, what? And it only had to happen one time. Got the point across. Of course, as a parent, you're going to give $25 back. You're going to figure out a way, buy something or do whatever. It's not about that. But I really feel like this is like the adult version of that. Like, don't know how many times we got to tell you, don't drink and drive. Get an Uber, plan ahead, do something. And if you do this and you kill somebody now, you're not only going to be in big time trouble, but you're going to pay for it too. You kill a parent, you're going to pay for those kids, and it's going to be expensive. So don't do it. And it's just piling, it's making that. And you know what? It's only going to have to take probably one time. Sadly, one time. Hopefully not. But someone who's going to be made the example, like, yep, you're now an indentured servant to that family. That's what it's going to be for your stupidity. Your lack of planning. So yes, I do think it's a good idea. And I think it should be implemented nationwide. Effective immediately.
Fantastic.
That's my mandate.
So, all right. Well, moving on. That's good stuff. I like how you just kind of did like a humble parent brag there too. That was nice. Like, well, with my kid, this is what I did.
Oh, is that a humble brag? I mean, I was just telling what I did. I wasn't trying to brag that I was good. Yeah. It's probably wrong. We're probably going to get feedback and people being like, you're an asshole father. Stop it. You're hurting that little girl's childhood.
That's great. I think you're a fantastic human being.
Could be worse. I could be like her biological father, who's a deported felon who got kicked out of the country for being an idiot. But, whatever. Doesn't pay for anything.
All right, moving on. Question
3. Question 3.
All right, dude. Twitter's back. Do you think this is the demise of Getter, Truth Social, Parler? Like, are all those social media platforms probably just gonna wash away now?
Yes, most of them. But I do have breaking news, and I wanted to reveal it today, right now, at this moment. I am now officially part of Truth Social. As of today, I got my profile made, and I was granted access. So,
I followed you.
You did. Followed me right away.
I do like it.
I do like
very
it.
Crisp layout.
It's solid, man. It's solid. And if that's what the delays were for, okay, fine. And they're working to do it. I get the sense that they're really taking the best features of all the other ones and housing it in there. So when this is done, the foundation's built, it's going to be the best one. And is that surprising that Trump's going to do that? Not really. That's not surprising.
Trump said he's not going back to Twitter. He said he's going to stay on Truth. But he doesn't do anything on Truth, which is interesting.
Yet. But I think as they get their subscribers up and he continues to do that, see, he's in a tough spot because in order for him to remain influential, he has to be able to influence. And that means you got to go where the people are at. And if there's nobody at truth yet, then you have nobody to influence, and therefore you're going to be inconsequential pretty soon. And I think he knows that.
He said he wasn't, but do you think that we'll see him back on Twitter before long?
Ooh. Well, I just got another follower on Truth Social. Our very own Austin decided to follow me based on this breaking news. And yes, I do think Trump is going to go back to Twitter. I think he's going to try to siphon. Why wouldn't you? Why, if you're allowed to come back, he has a massive following on Twitter. If they put his account back in status and he starts posting like, hey, I'm going to be on True Social too, follow both. Now he can migrate and siphon his followers from there to the other platform so that he can actually get off of the Twitter account and migrate. He's migrated all those people over to his other preferred platform.
That's wicked smart. I think you're onto something.
I think, it's going to put like Elon Musk and those guys, and Elon's not a big Trump guy. Like, he's a free speech guy. So I think it's going to put him in a tough spot from a business standpoint because he has to know, I can't be the only person who's thought that. I'm not smarter than Elon Musk. You got to know that if you let Trump back on, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Right.
And it's not going to be misinformation and all the other crap. No, dude, it's not about that. He's just going to take your business. That's all. He's going to take your girlfriend.
Mrs. Steal your girl. So, question 4. I feel like this is where you're really going to get fired up. And right in your backyard of Grand Rapids, Michigan, police shot a guy in the back of the head. NAACP chapter there, they don't like it. I'm sure we'll see Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton on all those yahoos do the same crud they did with George Floyd. But do you think that this is justified?
Dude, the real question here, and yes, Al Sharpton did actually come and do the funeral.
No, he did. Of course he did.
He did, yeah. So they had the funeral for this guy. And, what's disturbing the most to me is that the mainstream media is not giving everybody all the information. They're like taking it out of context. And they're going for the headline. Officer shoots black guy in the back of the head. Well, of course that's incendiary. That's going to piss off everybody. And when I saw that, when you see it the first time, you're like, dude, are you kidding me? A cop shot a dude in the back of the head? Like, what do you mean? How did that even happen? And you start digging into it. And here's what you have to work. And I just do not understand how we don't have the context here. And here's the thing. This guy has a rap sheet a mile long, arrested multiple times, violent behavior, is an immigrant from, I believe, the Congo. I'm not sure if he was legal here or not. Quite frankly, it doesn't really matter. I know he's first generation either way. And so what the question is, Chad, honestly, you get a chance to come to the greatest country in the world. And I don't care what anybody says. America is the greatest country in the world because as far as everybody's concerned, we are the most progressive. We have the most progressive tax system in the world. We have the most progressive ideas and allow people to actually chase that American dream. Whether they think they can or can't, everybody can complain about it. But the fact of the matter is you're still here. You came to America to do that. And so you get an opportunity to come here. And what do? You're getting in trouble. You beat your girlfriend. Domestic violence. You have an arrest. You have all these other things, and then you're pulled over and you're in an encounter with the police and you decide, I'm not going to comply. I'm no longer going to comply. And you know what my biggest problem is the citizenry of this country does not understand that that's not the time to fight. That's not the moment that your rights are being taken away. That happens in a court of law. That's when you get in front of a judge. The judge is the person who makes the decision on whether or not you broke the law. So stop fighting with the damn police. They're just trying to do their job. They're just trying to do the best they can. Has anybody ever thought about the fact that maybe, just maybe, that cop wanted to go home to his family? He wanted to be home safe with his family. And he's doing a job, and you've got this guy who's like running around, fighting with the officer, resisting arrest, steals his taser, takes his taser. Have you ever been in a spot where you've actually fought for 3 minutes for your life? Where you're in a life and death, like you don't know what's going to happen for 3 minutes? And yet you want to, anybody who wants to sit there and cast blame on this cop is insane, is absolutely insane. And I do not understand how you're not creating the context. Because if you just leave it alone and go, cop shoots guy in the back of the head, and he's a black guy, white cop shoots black guy in the back of the head. What exactly are you trying to accomplish with that? You trying to make money? Is it about chasing the money for you? Do you not give a shit about the fact that that's going to really hurt people's feelings and make them feel nervous or unsafe in America when we're actually probably a very safe place to be? A hell of a lot safer than other places. You're going to do that in the Middle East? Huh? You're going to do that in the Ukraine right now? I don't think so. And so, dude, it's insane to think that the mainstream media is not giving people the context. They are the problem. You guys start asking yourself that. I'm freaked out by it. I can't even, I don't understand. Like, it's not on CNN. It's not on ABC. It's not on MSNBC. And it sure shit isn't even on Fox. Why? And I only know this because I have actual inside information on this stuff. But you know what? I'm only Chris Dayton of the Building Whalls podcast. I am not fucking Fox. These people should get their shit together and figure it out and stop making everybody try to fight each other. Sucks, dude. Sorry, that was a rant.
That's
I
great.
ain't fired up.
That was great.
I don't understand those media people.
And that's why CNN, even though they only charged $2.99 a month, couldn't get more than 10,000 people.
Yeah.
For $3 a month.
Back to blue, baby.
That's crazy.
Back to the blue.
Crazy. Which is, that was awesome, dude, by the way. Freaking great. That really leads into our last little topic here, the life topic. Because I think this is so important, and I think that this is missed a lot of times, and just in everyday scenarios. People think that, there's certain people who maybe they wrong you or they do something you don't like or anything like that. And therefore, for the rest of your life, you think that devalues them as a human because either now or at some point in their life, they did something that you don't like. When the fact of the matter is, that doesn't devalue any of us as a human. That just means we made a mistake.
There was a clip by Jim Carrey, who's not exactly right-wing, that I just saw recently, that he basically was like, we got to get over hating people because they think differently than us. You can't do that. You literally cannot devalue people because they voted differently than you. It's just a vote.
Right.
And you're demonizing people and making them less human because you're on one side and you think that they're less of a person. And so you got to look in the mirror and at some point go, if Jim Carrey is saying this, whose Looney Tunes is all get out, maybe we've gotten to a point where this is actually a real issue. And I really feel like it is. I feel that going into the next presidential election, This is the number one issue. It's the divide of this country. It's the divide of America. That's why I've said before, too, I do not believe that it is a good idea for Trump to run. And he's going to. And it's going to further divide everyone. So, but hopefully we can get to a point between now and then where we get away from the attacks, the personal attacks on everything. Like, dude, could you imagine if you and I had a disagreement about something? And then I just like resorted to personally attacking you and your family and just, you know, made you feel like a less of a human. That's not going to like bring us together over what? Because we've disagreed on one topic. Come on. And vice versa.
I have a question for you. Do you think that there's anything that Trump could do if he got elected to not have the media try to hate him and try to act like he's dividing the country? Like, do you think it'd actually be possible for him to get elected and not divide the country
100%.
because of the leftist media?
But he's not capable of it. So is it possible? Yes, but he's not going to do it because he can't. And that is stop with the name calling. Stop with the derogatory, the nicknames, the, you know, Crooked Hillary, the Sleepy Joe Biden, you know, all that stuff. That's marketing gimmicks. That's so that it resonates with people and that they remember. Right. Because he's attaching a label to a person that's a derogatory fashion. And, you know, you watch him. He does his rallies. His rallies are awesome. And you know what? He does that because he's not a politician. Other politicians don't do that. They haven't done that in the past. But now you can watch like Hannity or any of these other shows. Like, you know, they've got these nicknames for people now, and they're all just, it's not helping. You need to actually just stand on your own merit. You need to be able to look at people and say, look, this is the policy, and this is why it's the policy. It's not because you're a crooked person or you should go to jail or you're a terrible person, you know, Hillary Clinton, because you've done all these other things. It's because this is the policy that is the best for the majority of America and the direction of the country that we need right now. And so, but he can't do that. And he's not going to. In fact, it'll only be 10 times worse if he gets into office a second time because he's not running again. It'll be 4 years and done. And it'll be a reckoning. That's what it'll be. Everybody will be in play. Let's put it that way.
And we'll find out that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
That's a fact. Boom. Under his eye.
Praise be, Commander Dayton.